Welcome to Loving God and Loving Life in 1 John chapter 2. The theme is love being our baseline and not to follow this world. Really, the theme of the entire book of 1 John is love. It's been referred to as the book of love. And he gives us an interesting way of saying this here in the 7th verse of this second chapter. He says, I'm not writing to you a new commandment. Rather, it is an old one that you've had from the very beginning. This old commandment to love one another, he says, is the same message you heard before, yet it is also new. That's interesting. He's saying, this love that I'm teaching you about, he says, well, this has been from the very beginning. You know, Jesus didn't introduce God's love to the world. God had already been love, but then he says this. He said, it is new. And here's what's new. He said, Jesus lived the truth of this commandment, and you also are living it. He said, for the darkness is disappearing, the true light is shining. Jesus is saying, or John rather is saying that Jesus brought clarity to this love commandment in a way that they had never understood before. Yes, if you would have asked somebody back, before Christ, is love a command of God? Yes. Now, if you'd have asked them, is everything, all the commandments of God summed up in love? No. Friends, they had found 613 commands, and they were all kind of equal importance. And Jesus really clarified that, you know what? If you will love God and love people, you're not going to break any of those other commands. If you'll just do that, if you'll truly love God and just sacrificially love and serve people, you won't break any of the commands. He lifted it up in a new way. That's what's new, is just, yes, Jesus. Yes to you. I want to say yes to everything you ask of me. Yes to your way. That simply means I'm going to love people. I'm going to serve people. I'm not going to live a self-serving life. I'm going to live a life of love. And by doing that, I end up keeping all of God's commands. Let's pray that prayer. God, today, send us one person today to share your love with. God, your love is in us. Help us to share it. Friends, let's not forget, it's loving God that leads us to a life that we love to live.